Oh, so good to be here.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested in if you could talk a little bit about the dynamics between the condition and the unconditioned, or the space to navigate between the two. And I guess the question really is about expansion and freedom within relationships.
Well, let's take the first part of it first. So, unconditional, this is not a difficult thing to get your thoughts around. This is easy to understand. So, when I see this thing that is pleasing to me, this condition that is pleasing to me, I have a pleasing response to it. So, while that seems like a good thing to look for positive aspects, and it is a good thing to look for positive aspects, I also might be training myself to need to see it before I feel it. So I'm looking around for conditions and I find good conditions and I feel good. But then now I'm used to looking around. In the process of looking around for good conditions, I see some bad conditions and then I feel bad. So then I say, these conditions need to be like those conditions. You say to your children, if you were like her, if you would be like I was when I was your age, if you were a condition that matched that condition, then we would be having a better relationship right now. But since you're not even trying to adjust yourself to meet my criteria for a good condition, then you must not love me, because you're not trying to adjust your conditions so that I can lazily, we love you so much, so that I can lazily have a good feeling response to you. Where if you are unconditional in your love, then you're not looking for love in all the wrong places. You're not looking for it in the conditions. You're looking for it and finding it in the exhilaration of who you really are. Do you know where what you're looking for is? You launched it. You put it into the vortex. Your inner being is surrounding it, and it is surrounding your inner being, and that is all of that source of love that you're looking for. It's your inner being. It's the source. What you're looking for is who you now are and where you now are. Your source is not outside of you. Your source is within you. And that's the love that you're looking for. And so that's the unconditioned part. In other words, I'm happy because I'm in alignment, not because I won the lottery. I'm happy because I'm in alignment, not because a condition coaxed me into being happy. I'm happy because I want to be happy. You know why you're happy? Here it is. I'm happy because I'm not unhappy. Now, stay with us just a minute. I'm happy because I'm not unhappy. That sounds silly. But what we mean is, happy is natural to you, and you will be that naturally happy being unless you're focused upon something that puts resistance into your vibration and doesn't allow you to hook up. So being plugged in is what happiness is, because that's where your clarity is, that's where your exhilaration is, that's where your energy is, that's where your balance is, that's where your well-being is, that's where your timing is, that's where in other words, that's what you're reaching for. You're reaching, and why is that what you're reaching for? Oh, here we're having a leading edge conversation with so many of you that are your first seminar ever. We haven't not said this to you before in this way. So enjoy this leading edge conversation. Do you know what real happiness is? It's catching up with where you went before you knew it. The contrast caused you to go there. The contrast caused you to go there, and you became. You fulfilled your reason for being. You sifted through contrast, and you came to new clarity, and you became more vibrationally. But now the physical part of you that is also vibrating, has to catch up with where you've been, with what you've become, with who you now are. And if you don't come into alignment with your request, if you don't come into alignment with what you're asking for, then there's that contrast that you translate through the emotion of unhappiness. Did that make sense to you? So your inner being, so picture this. So we're going to use words that don't apply, but picture yourself standing on the brink of coming into your physical body. Now, everything about that statement is wrong, because you're not standing anywhere. your consciousness, but you are aware that your consciousness is focused toward this physical beingness. And we want you to feel the enthusiasm with which you are focused there, because you know for sure that because of all the creating that you've done before, in other words, we haven't even talked about all of the intentionality that you held as non-physical beings about the subject of coming into this body. We haven't even talked about that at all, and yet so much intention from your non-physical soul, source, consciousness about being in this body. And you are about to become, hear this, you are about to become the manifestation of your source's desire. Splat, you are born. Standing on the brink of that manifestation. Can you feel how big that is and how important that is? So here you are. So here you are in this physical body. In this physical body, becoming, changing, knowing, stretching, giving birth to new desires. And you, taking the universe to places that it has never been before. Now you're going to feel the gap if you don't catch up pretty quick. That's the love you're looking for. It's not somebody else adoring you. It's not somebody else holding you as their object of attention while they're in alignment. What you're looking for when you're looking for love, you're looking for your complete and full reconnection with the whole of who you are. And nothing less than that will ever do for you. And you're not going to find it in the arms of a lover, although that's nice. You're not going to find it in some magnificent structure, although that's nice too. In other words, what you want to do is reconnect with the whole of who you are and then take a tour. Reconnect with who you are and then. And so, did we answer your question about relationships? Because the only relationship that we would be thinking about if we were standing in your physical shoes for a while would be the relationship between your thoughts and the thoughts of your inner being, would be the relationship between you and you.
Yeah. So so because I'm interested in the dynamics.
Meaning?
It's almost as if when you've got a really, really beautiful relationship, and you still want the freedom within it, and you want freedom for both of you, it's almost as if you have to let it go as soon as you start to become intimate.
What's happening here with this conversation about relationships and with a lot of conversations about a lot of manifestations is that sometimes without knowing you've even done it, you have managed to focus on something or not focus on something. We started to say earlier, and we didn't complete the thought, that your happy state, your alignment is like you are cork bobbing on the surface of the water. And you can hold the cork under and introduce resistance, but when you let go, you're going to bob right back up again. And so when you realize that the alignment that we are talking about all day, every day, is really what you're all reaching for, that is the relationship, that alignment with who you are is the relationship that you are looking for, and you're able to maintain it, then what happens is it unfolds, it becomes more, you get impulses, and then you have a manifestation. But what so many people do, because they weren't really aware, because they didn't do it deliberately, they weren't aware of what happened that brought them into the manifestation. Now the manifestation has happened. Now they're turning their attention to the action of the manifestation instead of the tending to the energy. It's like, all right, Abraham, I've listened to your message and I get this stuff. You wave your arms around and I get it that I had contrast and I get it that there's a vortex and I get it that somehow I lined up with it and I get it that I was in the receiving mode and I get it that I've created this relationship. But now this relationship is giving me fits. What should I do? What should I do about it now? And so instead of doing the only thing that works and the thing that created it to begin with, now you get into your human, we love you so much, action mode, where you try to deal with things through your action rather than tending to them through your vibration. Because within that relationship, as we said earlier, you've created a new and improved relationship. This existing relationship has made a better one with this person that you're not up to speed with because you're so involved with the person that's in the relationship that you're in. In other words, you're so intoxicated by the action part of your creation that you're not tending to the energy again. Did that make sense to you? In other words, even after a manifestation has happened, this is what is tripping most people up, so that they are not able to maintain a good feeling. You line up in fits and spurts. You line up and things manifest, and then you try to maintain or tend to your manifestations in a whole different way than the way it came to you to begin with. It's a little bit like, here's a good example. It's like someone who has written a really good book or painted a beautiful picture, and now they want to market it, and they're all wadded up and all balled up and all worried about, and none of the juices that flowed when they wrote the book are present, and none of the good feeling juices that flowed when they painted the painting are present. Now they're trying to deal with the marketing of it through action instead of finding that same stream that helped them to create the painting. That's the same stream that will help them now market the book. So the same stream that helped you to find the relationship is the same stream that will help you to keep it going happily ever after.
Yeah.
It's the vibrational work that you have to do first.
Makes sense. Yeah.